Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Albion Military Base Duel between Star693, who has a lot of ranked games, you'll see it at the end, and he's going up against Rapid Deployed Goulash. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Goulash, and he's playing Polish Donkey Kong, which has seen a resurgence since my pro guide on it. So if you want an extremely comprehensive, I mean, it's 2.5 hours long, right? And this will tell you how to build the Polish deck, why everything is where it is. So I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's similar in most ways. I'll just cover where he's made some changes. The first one is he got rid of the BRDM2. Since I made this video, the BRDM2 is now even more broken, so you want the BRDM2 back in. And the other thing is he's brought 2 more CVs at the expense of 2 fighters. Now, if you want to bring 2 more CVs, that's fine, right? But don't lose the fighters. Lose something else, because you need, like, your AA is crap. You need the fighters, otherwise you're gonna get air bullied. So there are lots of other things you could get rid of. There's also a couple, like, so yeah, I mean, this transport. Anyway, so yeah, the changes, right? The cards of supply as well. Like, they don't hold much supply, so it's easier to get one helo, one big one small one. The helo goes near the backline stuff, and this is mid range, and then these are the close range ones. Like, you don't need 24 of these. And yeah, 3 AP for a CV. Well, I appreciate cheapo CVs, yes. And then this is 3 per card, which is probably why you want it over the other ones. But you could get, like, this is 60 points for a mediocre stealth, 10 HP, 1 top armor CV. This is 40 for bad stealth. Right, the mediocre stealth's important. And the armor. Of course, you don't really want it in combat. It doesn't matter too much because they're both 3 AP slots, right? That's 50 points. Interesting. But yeah, essentially you need to get rid of... You need to basically get 3 cards of fighters, otherwise you're just going to get air bullied for the whole game. So you can't really afford to lose any of those other planes. And so it's probably a case of... yeah, you could get rid of a card of infantry. This is not a good transport, so don't bother with that. No MMG teams. Do I bring the MMG teams in mind? Maybe I don't. No, I definitely do, because they're very good. So yeah, it's because he's gone both cards of sappers. Just go 1 card of sappers. If you're gonna smoke loads, bring this one. If you just want to set people on fire, bring this one. So take your pick. The whole deck is kind of built around smoking loads, and you get more of this, and but triple flamethrower, the salvo length's still 4. It doesn't shoot 12 flames, right? Because this is a salvo length of 4. So I'm pretty sure the only difference is the flames themselves do more damage. Like, they're both good, but you need to make some sacrifices for 12 airborne MMG teams, which I think is much more important. So just switch out whatever one you want. And yeah, honestly, like, I want the CVs. Yes, well, if you don't have 3 cards of fighters, you're going to lose. So difficult decisions have to be made. And that's why I only bring 5 CVs. This is now 35.6 availability, which is absolutely absurd. So it's definitely better than the PT-76 thing. So you definitely want that. Yeah, in the honker, because of the special forces, so it goes faster. You can't afford to max vet that. Whoops. So yeah, difficult decisions have to be made. You basically, there's a reason I would bring 5 CVs, and it's because you need the 3 cards of fighters, and you need all the planes. Right, and it's nice to have helos and so on. So yeah, his opponent, Star, is playing first cav. Now, what would you know? I have a pro guide out on first cav as well. This is 2 hours long, so I'm going to spend even less time on this. But basically, TLDR, he's not got enough infantry. He's going to run out of infantry if he does that. And a little bit too much AA. This Pave Tiger thing's a waste of time. Don't bother bringing it. And this cluster thing in 1v1, you're better off bringing 2 cards of this thing upvetted. And then, you know, if you synchronize fire them, they should kill a heavy tank anyway. Like, this is, in a team game, it can work. In 1v1, it's, unless you know you're going to be in a tournament game on Vertigo or something. But yes, I would, why do you need this? You got plenty of ATGM carriers, but yeah, the infantry tab's a mess. Go watch that pro guide. Let's cast the game. Right, so with that out of the way, I appreciate I didn't spend too much time on this deck, but basically don't bring this unit either, right? And the scimitars could be more Bradleys, from what I remember. Just go watch that pro guide. It's exhaustive. It goes through everything. The only thing I've changed since then is I was bringing the Avengers instead of the tracked rapiers, and then I got air bullied one game, and I put the tracked rapiers back in, and you still kind of get air bullied, but they're slightly better against planes than the Avengers are. And you've got stingers anyway. In terms of the map, honestly, like, it depends how much damage this div can inflict, but you would expect first cav to win, because if he just plays it slow, right, takes it slow, gets the CEVs and the tanks, this guy literally just can't kill him. Except with planes, at which point, you know, you sat there with your tracked rapiers and your fighters, and you just wait for the plane, you kill the plane, you keep going, you wait for the plane, you kill the plane, you keep going. Like, the Bradleys that this div gets, the five armor ones, I'm not sure he brings. You need to watch that guide. Oh, there it is. 6 armor ones with ER8. Like, this can't... He has nothing on the ground that can one-shot this. Or even his helicopters can't one-shot it. It's only a plane that can one-shot it. So, he should win. He should win. In terms of he's just got to make sure he doesn't feed too much at the start, right? That's a big problem with these armored decks. So, in terms of the deployment, we got a scimitar and this jammer thing, which is bad because it's got bad stealth, so it just explodes. So you don't want to bring that. Check out that guide. That's interesting. Try to get behind him with a scimitar. And then we've got... So I guess he's planning on attacking Anna, because that's a big investment. So we got Cav Scout, Scimitar, ETAS, 1 infantry, 2 AT pieces, another Bradley and a Bradley CV, Bradley infantry CV, which you should not bring on this division at all. I've just realised that guide is still in members early access, isn't it? I don't know, I'll probably end up releasing it before this video comes out publicly. Or you could just give me money. I am a big fan of receiving money. Anyway, Cav Scouts, really nice squad. And then, yeah, just some more units, right? But only 1 infantry going here. Everything else is a vehicle. So he's basically given up on Dimitri, and he just wants to defend Gregory. But he doesn't really have the resources to do that either. So that's because, like, you would want something here, you know, so that when they come over, you can shoot them. Yeah, I think he would be better off, like, putting a couple M67s and a supply in there, rather than something like this. I don't see what purpose that's going to serve. And yeah, the scimitars, pretty sure I don't bring those. I do forget. His opponent has a much more typical deployment of his division. So you get the Honker Reeses, which go mega fast, right? And he's going for the infantry bit, right? And yeah, you want those at the front. Obviously, this one isn't, but it'll overtake it. It's just they slow down a little bit when they're overtaken. And then, yes, SPG-9's behind that. And there should be basically 1 of these going down every road. And, like, yes, good. And he's put an AA piece with it. This is what I teach. He's clearly watched the guide, because this is what I teach in the guide. And that one's in public access right now. It's like 3 months old, so... You know, go watch it if you want to learn this division. There's literally, I mean, obviously it's like, oh, he is saying that his stuff is good. And yeah, I am. There's no other video on YouTube that's like 2 hours and a half long and goes through and goes through this division at the highest level against very good players. I've won multiple tournaments with this division, so well, okay. I've won one tournament and come second a lot of times with this division. And then yeah, just a bunch more infantry, right? There's lots of units on your screen. 2 cheapo CVs. I don't actually bring those in the guide because I feel like you can't afford to bring them. But anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joining the channel, they get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. They also get a Steam key for my game Hearst Hero, which is on Steam. They are the ones making this channel possible. Ad revenue on YouTube's very low. So over 3/4 of the channel, monies comes from the generous channel joiners, which is why they're generous, right? If you want to help out the channel for free, there's lots of ways to do that. While you're waiting for the units to come in, you could like the video, you could subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. If you really want to help me out, you could wishlist my game on Steam, and you could leave a positive review on the demo if you really, really, really wanted to help me out. I got a negative review, and it just said, "I don't like this game," and I asked him why, and he didn't reply. It was very sad. So... Anyway, yeah, the maximum ground-based AP that this guy brings is 17 heat, so it can one-shot 3 armor. So it can one-shot the ETAS and the Scimitar, but it cannot one-shot the, you can reverse and stuff, right? You don't have to sit around and get shot by a Scimitar. Right, wait, curve. Yeah, okay, well, it is what it is. He got some kills out of it, like this. Okay, that's on this side. So here you go, the SPG-9s. And he's not stopped, so his motion accuracy, like if he'd stopped there, I don't know, he might have won, he probably wouldn't have. If he'd stopped far enough away, he would have outranged him. And then he could have reversed while shooting. But yeah, the SPG-9 is very cool. You send them around the side, you beat annoying, and look, he sent an AA piece with it. I teach this in the guide. It's always great to see me saying do something, and then you see somebody do it, and then it works. Unfortunately, there are times where I say do something, and you see somebody do it, and it doesn't work. But that's their problem. Anyway, the point is, you bring this AA piece with the SPG-9s because the enemy always sends a helicopter to go clear them out. And then you put it in the reverse side of the forest like this. This is perfect. This must be why teachers, stay teachers and don't just jump from tall buildings, right? Because I get so many students of the Hippie YouTube channel. And I'm like, don't be retarded. Like, no, it's my right. It's my right to be retarded. What? Okay. Well, he shouldn't have stood there. He shouldn't have stood there. It's got a very low chance of happening. So he sent a jet to strafe it, and he loaded it back up. And that saved it, apparently. I don't think he did that on purpose, but I think he was just moving it. And, yeah, because I get games, like... I don't want to list any specific examples, right? Because the tier 4 channel joiners get their games cast at a rate of 1 per calendar month. Or they can say, like, can you play X Division on, I wouldn't say on Y map, because that can be quite hard to organise, but can you play X Division? And yeah, he's just swept this because there's nobody here, so, that's not particularly surprising. And then they don't learn. They don't learn. They don't learn. I'd make a terrible teacher. I'd end up on the news. Brown man hits kid. Yeah, I mean, anyway. So yeah, he's moved it. This is obviously not great, right? This should have been back here somewhere because he's just in the open. He's probably going to die. Although he's baiting him into the AA. Truly inspirational. So you see he's using the Black Hawk to scout, because if that draws fire, obviously I guess he wasn't expecting this to be here. So yes, the SPG goes down, but this thing has now killed, this 35-point unit has now killed an Apache for 230 points, I think, a Black Hawk for 50, and Tow Cobra for 130, and it's a 35-point unit. This is what Airborne is all about. This guy has like 400 games on 101st Airborne, so he does the same thing. I have a game against this guy on the channel. It's a recent one, and he was basically doing the same thing, but in reverse, right? Because he was the Airborne. So yeah, the idea with the ATGMs is to get side shots and so on. Don't sell these helos. Look, he's not selling the helos. And then you can use them to scout. Like, this is a super nice helo. It can survive one man-pad hit. Something like a tracked rapier will one-shot it. Those... I'm pretty sure they fixed it, so it actually does something now. It's still not worth it. Don't bring it. Watch the guide. And then, yeah, you use this to scout ahead of your normal helos and to, like, bait AA positions so you can arty them with your pions and stuff like that. That was not smart. I assume he was going for this, but yeah, look at that. Just routes it. He's max vet. He's killed 3 helicopters. Right, 35 plus... So I say this in the guide, I say, with the SPG-9, send one basically down every road. And then... Does this have smoke? I guess we'll never know. There's another one. No, it doesn't. BRDM2s are way better than this. And look, he just can't hack it. He just can't hack it. He's routed. This guy's like in the top 50, I think. It might be like 80, rank 80 or something. This guy has so many kills. Dembski. Interesting. And now, yeah, so using a strike plane on it is probably... Oh, there's clusters, so that's still alive. We gotta bring Dembski back home. It's like Saving Private Ryan, you know, where all Tom Hanks and all his mates died to save Matt Damon. For no strategic advantage really. But this guy, he's actually a useful character, right? He's not like, ooh, me brothers died. It's very sad. Of course, yes, if that happened in real life, it would be very sad. But you know what's sadder? Is we sent 10 guys to save you and 6 of them died. Lamau, earn it. Wow, crippling PTSD in my military. You see the power of the PT-76 there. It's a heat round, so the closer it gets, the damage doesn't go up. So it's dead now. Terrible accuracy. It's just not very good. I did lose a game recently, 2 PT-76s, but that was mainly just because my opponent was better than me, not because they are a good unit. They are a bad unit. He was playing Rugener, though. So, well, look, yeah, so do you see how he's sending this in front of the Helo so that this can tank the AA, right? Okay, interesting. And it's because there was smoke here, so that, yeah. I mean, he obviously could have reacted. After the first one missed him, he could have pressed land, or he could have tried to run away. I think pressing land would have been the optimum solution. Look, he's still at it. The enemy's sending him a supply so he can continue the fight. But yeah, I mean, it's out of ammo, so... It does have a minimum range, which is why I think it's not in get yet, because look, he's right-clicked it. It's not actually doing anything. It's just moving away. So yeah, first cav gets air bullied hard, and it's bad against wide playstyles. If you get first cav on Vertigo good side, I have crippling PTSD from a game against first cav on Vertigo good side. It's very, very hard to lose. It's very hard to lose if you're first cav on Vertigo good side. But on a map like this, it is wider. There are places where, you know, the infantry div has a big advantage and it can attack over here. Like, Vertigo as a map has a certain width to it. I think it probably is that wide. It's just because of where the zones are and the trees and stuff, the actual playable area of the map is very low. So, yeah, the Phantoms are kind of bad compared to the MiG-29s. But yeah, this guy played it all wrong, basically. I mean, he's still in the game. He's... You know, he's got this, and he could come clear this out. But yeah, that's a big problem. If you were red in this case, you'd really want to be getting guys in here. Drop that behind the building now. It's in a good spot, and he should have another one here. Like the ASUs, they've got mediocre stealth, so having one here is good. But it's hard because you basically can't get over here because the Bradleys should shoot you as you do that. If you losing this zone really sucks. It's almost impossible to get back in. So that's probably dead. Doesn't have smoke. He did drop it behind. And yeah, we got more wraparounds, right? Just keep doing it, because that's another thing people do. They might send one at the start, and then they just kind of forget to send another one, and that includes me. You've got to be very clued in. So, yeah, this isn't an AA piece, right? So, if it was, this probably wouldn't have landed, depending obviously on the positioning and so on. And then this wouldn't have landed either. So you could just send another Gaz around the side. The BRDM2s are faster and cheaper. The gun isn't... Well, the gun's better, really, but obviously this can shoot at a tank and the KPVT can't. But this won't do anything to a tank, so... They should not have buffed the BRDM2. It was a really stupid idea. I did tell them not to, but... What could I say? I benefit from it, because I play all the divs that bring it. 4th East German, 56Y, Corpus. Those are my best, strongest pack divs, because that's just the way I play the game. And that's why I knew it was a bad idea. Anyway, yeah. So you could get an ATGM in there, but it wouldn't even one-shot it. This guy's not really brought any CEVs, which is sort of the whole point of the div. It gets the best siege tank in the game, because it's the CEV with smoke. And yeah, Blackhawk scouting on this div in the inf tab is a big no-no. I think you get aero scouts, so you bring that. Yeah, so that's why you bring the Blackhawks. Like the aircraft troopers are just a terrible idea. The way the deck's built is really not good. So yeah, I can't see this making it. And the game continues. Basically, what red need... Like, the whole point of this div is to shoot smoke everywhere. And we've seen 0 WPs and 0 smoke. And so... Because, like, if he got that, it'd be great at clearing this out. And he could shoot a smoke there and get the CV in. Could have shot smoke over here and got in. Like, that's the whole point of the div. That's why you play it. I do say this in the guide. How do I reach these kids? Reach them with shock collars. Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of hard to... Alright. Just rely on the power of friendship there. The whole point is to shoot smoke everywhere, and he's not done that. Honestly, I wouldn't be playing the div if you're not going to do that, because that's literally the whole point. That's the thing this div does better than any other. You get this Nebelwerfer, and it is a Nebelwerfer, because it shoots its MLRS smoke. It was the only one in the game. There's one in 17Y now, which also does it, but it's just way less practical, although it's self-propelled. I haven't tried it yet, personally, but obviously I know the stats. I think it's a BM14, right? So, is he going for the AA? He is. Well, the one you can see, anyway. Interesting. Yeah, you see these have the mega missiles, so they can act as whatever. So yeah, next step would be to buy a cluster and hit that rapier, like ping that rapier position and hit it. You could also buy a pion. Oh, he ran out of everything before it died. So he's got, that'll be back in like 9 minutes though, because it's like the maximum repair time. So I do like the A10s. They used to be a lot better. They used to be cheaper, and the gun used to go like 3,000 meters. It was the best ASF in the game. It went like 3,000 meters against aircraft, and the gun did more damage. And so if you went anywhere near them, it just goes zzz, and then that'd be you dead. And it is still really good, even after all the nerfs. It's just, it requires, you know, because it's slow and everything, you gotta sort of use your brain a bit. People don't like doing that. But yeah, I'm getting antsy not seeing the smoke, not seeing the whole reason de apostrophe etra of the division is to smoke. And like, so I'm pretty sure, right, that this just doesn't see anything. Yeah. See? These you can see because of that. So the whole point is it only sees radar AA because it's an EW plane. And so I guess he just didn't know. So yeah, there's two parts of getting better at Warno, by and large. One is practicing, right? Getting the actual, I need to click and put this here and click and spend my points, and that there's really no substitute for practice in that point. And the other pillar of getting good is knowledge, and you can advance your knowledge significantly by watching this channel. And there are other channels, but this is obviously the best one. And so you could advance your knowledge, and so you would never be in this situation where you have, well, okay, obviously if it was before the video came out, you could be in that situation, where you would send out that drone because you would know it doesn't work, and so because like after this game he'll be like, well, that didn't work, and he'll take it out, but that's like 1 hour of your life which you could have saved, if that makes sense. And it is a shame that there are things, obviously in a perfectly balanced, I don't know if balanced is the right word, a perfectly made game, there would be no useless units. Yeah, a perfectly balanced game, it doesn't matter for balance to have units do something. And so you would save yourself that problem. But yeah, it shouldn't be the case that there are units that are just bad, right? Every unit should have a use case. But sadly, you know, like the Uragan, how long has that been useless for? It's been useless for like 3 years. And so yeah, you can save yourself the heartache. The second pillar is the practice, and watching these videos is great, but that will not solve your practice problem, right? I get a lot of people asking me like, look, I've seen all your videos and I still suck. Well, it's because you've got, I mean, you might have a severe learning disability, but I would assume not. And because, you know, Hippie channel watchers are all really smart and good looking. But it's just, there's no substitute for the practice. And so it really does my head in. There we go, coffin launcher. So he's put it there because he's expecting these to walk into him. Has he noticed they're not doing it? So yeah, this is a really nice piece of kit. No other airborne div in the game gets a coffin launcher. So that's pretty cool. It's like a mine clearance device. So it goes and it explodes. So if there was a grind for here, this would be mega useful for that. And so like you know, it's obviously good that he's bought, like, because you can use it here as well, especially with the smoke. But like, let's say it's back here. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if it's back here behind this building, it can shoot this tree line, and so you could slowly clear the tree line out with that. But generally, you would have seen more of this unit if Blue had actually gone for the town at the start, because this would have been brought up, and it would just, you know, he's here, you're here, you send the recon forwards, you see him, and you immediately fall back a building, and then 30 seconds later, that's dead, or at least severely unalived. Obviously, it doesn't apply to this case, but yeah, it's like this thing we spoke about in the deck review, waste of time, don't bother. I appreciate that it's got KPVT and 2 armor, but the point is that you want these guys out on the field, and the trucks are faster, and they can be sold. I just don't think it's a good piece of kit. Like, what problem does it solve? Whereas you could say, well, I need fire support, yeah, but that's this thing. And like this would win you any town fight, and you've got this as well. I don't think it's worth bringing. So yeah, good helo usage, and he knows he's killed a bunch of his fighters. He should have 4. We saw 2 die here, but I can't remember. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like there should be more left. And like you need to get into the habit of whenever you're using a helicopter, somebody's gonna chuck a jet at it. It's just like that was good. Do you see that? You got the tracked rapier as it came in, and I guess you could see it because of this unit. Yeah, that's the LOS, and that's the big explosion. So good airplay. You can buy the seed, even though, and look, he's got the SPG-9 down the back lines. This is what we like to see. This is the whole point. If you let your enemy build up, you're just going to lose. He's finally bought a CV for over here, but still no smoke. This thing's got a really good machine gun on it. But what I don't understand is why he wasn't shooting back. Because, yeah, he must have had it on a move order. He's probably going for this. But yes, it's good stuff. That's what this was almost textbook. The only thing he didn't do was shoot the smoke everywhere. Like this should have been cleared out earlier with the smoke shooting, and you know he should have had a CV back in here earlier with the smoke shooting. There should be an ASU here. He could have used the coffin launcher there as well. You know, these guys getting back in is obviously a problem. Like you know, use the helos. You've just killed the AA, right? You watched it die. I'm looking for so-calls if he's got any left. And like this, you know, it could be firing. You know, he's in there. You can see him. You can literally see him. They should be shooting that. Well, you can definitely see him because you're actively trying to kill him. So, issue with unloading it in the building is that your enemy sees this slowly expanding out from that building, and so he might arty it. Doesn't always happen, but does happen. So we got a CV, not been pathed yet. You need like another one of these, supply for this one, get that up to here. Should constantly be shooting, then this guy will shoot you and you RT him. It's the reason I love, and look how good these are against infantry. That was obviously not ideal. The reason I love RTS games so much, and technically this is an RTT, but yeah, is because there's always something, even when you win and just completely stomp somebody, there's always something you can do. So here's Rapid Deploy Goulash, rank 118 with 41 games this season and 1,000 total. And this is Star, rank 68 with 461 games this season, I think. So there you go, you know, doesn't watch Hippie YouTube videos, watches Hippie YouTube. In fact, what's the total? That's what I was about to say, actually. And so that's how you can, so you can solve the knowledge problem, but the micro problem is, of course, you can only fix that by playing the game. And the point I was going to make was that there are certain people who have very strong opinions on the game, and they style themselves as strategic analysts, and then you find their player profile and they're really crap, and it's like you don't understand the game because there's a whole part of the game that you just don't get. Anyway, have a lovely day.